I've been a busy girl entering all my expenses into my Quicken program. I have a total for you of everything that I spent on this Airstream.
I've got news for you, things I want to pursue. I'm jumping up Kilimanjaro, Kilimanjaro. I've got the wind in my hair, oh Kilimanjaro.
I did a blog post on the renovation, so I will link that down below so that you guys could read it, about my experience with doing a project like this, and it talks about how to manage this project. I was very blessed that I discovered a method to project planning digital wise that helped me stay on budget and helped me to have some type of an idea on a vision for this Airstream. It was never an intention of mine to redo an Airstream. Originally, what I had planned was to buy a small RV, about 24 feet, 22 feet, travel trailer for Christian in case he decided to go to school or somewhere where we could find an RV park near, not too far from the school, where he can get himself a truck, a small used truck, and he was able to pull the trailer to the RV park so that he could be there instead of paying like dorm fees and stuff like that. This way he could leave the travel trailer parked at the trailer park, and then he still had the use of the truck to get to school. So that was the idea that I had, because I didn't know what was going to come out of all this. But for me, I went out looking until I saw this particular Airstream. When I went in there and I saw it, I just knew it. This has been the model that I've always loved. I've been to various Tin Can tourist shows and I've seen this model, and I just love this model, and I knew it was meant to be. Very blessed to have had this opportunity to renovate or remodel a camper like this. I know a lot of people dream of things like this and they never get the opportunity, or haven't had the opportunity, or will not get the opportunity because they're just not going to find anything in their price range. I was blessed that this was put in my way, and I just knew that I had to take this opportunity and make it mine and do the best that I could. It's been a challenge, but at the same time, there's a lot of great things that I learned about myself. I've enjoyed really transforming it, and it's changed me, because I see how beautiful it came out after all of the things that we tore out of there. It's been a good project to get involved in, I can tell you that. They were asking $10,995, I think it was, and I just knew that it was too much. I did do my research before that, and I did see that there was one that they were asking $15,000 for, a little bit smaller than this one, but it was in way worse shape. When I started my bid, I started at 5 and he was like, no. So I knew I was way too low at 5. Then I went up to 6 and he was still at like no. But when we were at the 6th mark, I knew he was kind of thinking about it, so I knew that I was close. When I got to 7, that's the one that sealed the bid. So I purchased the 1982 vintage Excella for $7,000. I titled it, so that cost me additional money. I've saved myself a couple of dollars every year having to register the tag. I don't have a tag for it yet. When I'm ready to drive it off the lot, I will apply for the tag, but for right now, I don't feel that I need to, because it's just sitting here. It's just going to be a place for him to live right now, and I still have to do work on the Airstream. It's not totally finished, so that's what some of the things that I want to talk to you about. Tack on the price of delivery, because one of the conditions was, because I wasn't sure how the tires were going to be, or they were going to handle on my way to my house, so I paid him $30 to deliver the Airstream to me, and it worked out great that way. But that was an extra $30 that I also paid for the delivery of the trailer. She is finished on the inside, but the only thing that really has to be done on the inside is a lot of the items have to be bolted down. So the day that we do move her out for more work, she will need to be, some of the things have to be bolted down. The sofa needs to be bolted down. The refrigerator and the microwave also need to be bolted down. So those are the things that we have to bolt down in order for the camper to move. So that's something that will happen in the future, but right now, it's going to sit there right now until we decide what's going to happen with Christian. The next thing is the exterior still has to be done. We still have to work on the axles if they need work. We need to get new tires, and we also need to work on the brakes. So that's going to be additional money. The toilet was never installed. I ended up installing a compost toilet in the RV, even though the bathroom was done. I want to give you a reason for that, because I don't think I've given a reason for why we decided to do that. Number one is I wanted Christian to learn to be off-grid. Number two, we live in Florida, where we have hurricane season here from June all the way to November. So the likelihood that we are going to have no electricity at some point this summer is obvious, because hurricane seasons come and we are going to be out of electricity. I won't have the use of a toilet if there's no electricity here. I have a generator that's probably going to be used for the refrigerators. In the event that we were going to be a couple of days without the use of the toilet, we already have in that camper a bathroom with a compost toilet in it. So that's one of the great features that I thought about having a compost toilet, is we already have a system in place in case of an emergency. If you remember, when we drove up to Georgia and South Carolina, North Carolina, one of the reasons that brought us back home was because of the hurricane that was here, and you never saw videos of that. But when we got back, we realized that we really did need to have a good system in place for the use of the toilet. And that was one of the things that I came up with. Didn't just do it for that. I did it because that was a way for us to save some money right now, because we spend a lot of money. Number two, I didn't feel that we were really going to need it right now, because he's using the toilet in the house until I travel. So at that some point, either he can install it if he learns to install it, or I could have pay somebody to install an RV toilet. We just didn't want to deal with the tank problem, because that's going to be additional money. I would have to connect to my sewer for that. So that's money that I didn't want to do right now, and I feel that this was the best thing. If we do travel with the Airstream at some point next year, yes, I would install a toilet, because that Airstream is mostly going to be in RV parks, and that's where we're going to end up dumping the tanks on that. So we did save money there, but at the same point, I am relieved this year that during this hurricane season, I have an option for pooping without electricity. So that is a good thing. I shopped a lot of cheap stores. I shopped at Bell's Outlets. I shopped at Family Dollar, General Dollar. I shopped at Family Dollar, Dollar Tree. I shopped at Big Lots, Ollie's. We got the flooring at Ollie's. It was a great price. I did a lot of bargain shopping. So in total, with paint, with hardware, all of the hardware for the cabinets, I got them at Ollie's. They come in big packs. And with everything said and done, I spent, it says here $17.38, but last year when I bought the RV, and I was going to start last year, I spent about $55 at Walmart for that flat paint and some rollers and some stuff. So, but that's not going to be in this program, because this is 2019. So add on the 55 from last year that I had already purchased. So $17.38 plus another $55, you're going to put you at, so almost $1,800 is what I spent between the floor, all the decor in there, the bed, everything in there was $1,800. The fee of disposing the contents. A lot of the contents that were in the Airstream we had to dump. If you were doing this and you were gutting the whole thing, you could do it at the dump. Just drive it there and then just dump everything there, which is a great idea. Or the other thing that you can do is you have to take several trips there to throw everything out. For me personally, if you can drive the RV to the dump and everything is in there, just open it up and just toss everything out that day. I think that's probably your better idea. I ended up paying $6 only because I live in a rural area and we don't get garbage service here unless it's private paid. So because I'm in this area, they allow me to have a certain amount of trash per month. So I only had to pay one time because I went over. So one time I paid $6. That's about it. But that's something that you have to consider when you get an RV, is the very beginning. In order to, before you even start anything, is you have to decide what you're going to do with the contents, how far you're going to go, and how much stuff you have in there. You're going to have to dump all of that stuff. For me, I was lucky that I didn't have to dump the cabinets. Didn't really start dumping stuff till this year. Got good use out of the rug for the garden, but we ended up dumping that later on. So, you know, the sofas and the stuff, I could have kept them, but I decided not to keep them because they were just in too poor shape. And yes, I could have sold them, but I didn't have a place to store them until they got sold. So this is why I thought that it was just better to get rid of them. $1,800 that we're talking about would not include the fridge, because the fridge was from my cruise light, and it's a smaller type fridge. So we installed the fridge from my cruise light from my outdoor kitchen, which I had saved. The microwave from my truck camper is another thing that I saved in my garage, which we also used that one, so that was free. The TV from the camper also, we saved that, so we were able to use that. And the mattress for the twin size bed, well, Lewis was going up in quality, so he gave me the old mattress that he had, which is the one that Christian is using. So those are 4 items that we didn't have to pay money on because we already had those items here. All of this that I'm talking about is the $7,000 to buy, the $30 for delivery, the $6 for the garbage, and the $1,800 for everything does not include the labor costs. So if you're the kind of person who needed to pay somebody to do all the work, you would have to take that into account. The same you would have to take into account if you had to pay somebody to dismantle or to gut out your RV. You also have to include those charges as well. This Airstream renovation is different than most because most people gut everything. So if you're trying to decide what you're going to do, go watch some other videos about people who are gutting versus this video. This video is telling you that we didn't gut it. We did remove the furnace. We removed the propane usage. For me, the lines are old. They're in there. You know, if I sell the RV and somebody wants to take a chance with those old propane lines, or they know how to service them, those propane lines are there. You're welcome to put propane. There's still propane lines in the RV. We did not remove them. For me, I just don't see any value in that. I just think that at this time in my life, I think I'd rather go with a good solar system. But if I did decide to travel with this for longer term, yes, I would put a kick-ass solar system in there because I do have the space for the batteries, and I definitely have the space on the roof for solar panels. It would probably cost me about $3,000 to do a good efficient system in there, if not more. But that's something that I could add on into the future. I don't have to do that right now. That's why I didn't go with the propane system. And I would probably invest in a good refrigerator, something that's probably a separate freezer and a separate refrigerator. And I would invest good money on those 2 items in order for my batteries to be as efficient as possible. So those are the things that I would add in the future if I was going to travel for a long time or boondock or be out for a while. I would invest money into those things. We kept the cabinetry, which is what saved us a lot of money, because cabinetry, as you know, would have cost a lot of money, would have taken a lot more time. But because the cabinets were sound and in good shape, we were able to save a lot of money by keeping those. We did remove the heating system in there, which I just didn't feel that we needed to have that in there. We have a electric fireplace heater that works very well. It's efficient, and we keep it in a cabinet. And if Christian needs a heater, or if we had to travel, and we'd probably be hooked up at an RV park, I always bring my generator with me. When I was traveling with my cruise light, I always had my generator. So because I have my generator, you know what? I don't mind pulling it out and turning on a heater. To me, it's just easier than turning on propane, honestly. $10,000 was what I initially wanted to spend. I'm way under budget, but remember, I still am not done there because I still consider the outside of the RV, which is not finished, just too hot. It's too humid in Florida for me to do any work anymore on the Airstream on the outside. So as winter approaches and I'm back from my travels, I will start working on the outside of the Airstream again. RV looks great. I'm really happy with it. It's motivated me to do stuff at the house. I'm motivated to do stuff in my truck camper, which I'm excited about right now. I probably could flip it right now and probably make a couple of bucks, maybe sell it for 15 as it is, I'm thinking. But if I put the brakes in, if I put the fixed axles and got new tires and bolted everything down, how much do you think that I could sell this RV? I could flip it for? Let me know. Leave it in the comments. I'm eager to know. I'm eager to see what you guys are all thinking about it. Remember, it's a 29-foot 1982 Excella, fixed up and completed nice. What do you think I could turn around and flip this Airstream for? I'm excited to know. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. I have more stuff coming up. I did film a video a couple of days ago when I was traveling in my truck camper about exactly how I do the project planning. Those don't get a lot of views, but I know some people are interested to see hands-on how I actually do it versus how I wrote about it in my blog. So the blog post will be linked below. stay tuned, because this week I will also be posting that little video for you. So if you're going to be planning on project planning, I'm going to give you some ideas. What is the best way to organize a project like this? Have your ideas. You can have a vision for what you want, and you can collect all of the little things that you are thinking about your project as you plan it, and then at the end everything comes together. And then also you can come in under budget. If you do good planning on a project like this, you will come in under budget, I guarantee you. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, everybody. Please give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.